this, right? So the article reads, Nicki Minaj forces blogger Nosey Heaux to pay $75,000 for insulting son and ignoring defamation lawsuit. Wow. This is interesting. So let's read this, y'all. So again, this is according to Ace Showbiz. So Nicki Minaj is seeking justice, right? The Trinidadian hip-hop artist has requested a default judgment in her defamation lawsuit against blogger Nosey Heaux, whom she accused of insulting her son, Papa Bear, all right? Now, let's keep reading. According to court documents obtained by All Hip Hop, the super freaky girl rapper, her lawyer, Judd Burstein, asked the clerk of the court to issue a certificate of default on Thursday, February 23rd. Judd said Nosey, whose real name is Marley Green, failed to respond to the lawsuit. Defendants have not answered or otherwise move with respect to the complaint, and the time for them to do so has expired. That's what Nicki Minaj's lawyer, Judd Burstein, wrote. Nicki sued Nosey back in September 2022. Attorney Bobby Samini, who's representing Nosey, agreed to accept service for the blogger in October 2022. All right, take all that in. Judd, that's Nicki's lawyer, served Nosey by emailing a copy of the summons and complaint to Bobby, Nosey's lawyer, in October 2022. Nicki's lawyer proposed extending the deadline to respond in December 2022. The court approved this request, setting a new deadline of January 16th. However, Judd never heard back from Nosey. Now, Miss Nosey, are you paying this? No, she's not even paying the lawyer. This lawyer was doing interviews and all this other stuff, and I think he said that he decided, if memory serves me correct, I could be wrong, don't quote me, I think that he's doing this for her pro bono, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. This was a while back. Anyway, let's keep reading this article. Nicki pursued legal action against Nosey after the blogger accused the rapper of using cocaine. The 40-year-old artist, why you gotta put her age in here? Anyway, the 40-year-old artist also took issue with remarks about her child. The defendants herein have outrageously defamed Nicki Minaj by posting a video on their Twitter page in which defendant Marley Green, that's Nosey Heaux, who goes by the name of Nosey Heaux, falsely and maliciously stated that Nicki Minaj is a cokehead who is, quote unquote, shoving all this cocaine up her nose. This is what Judd, Nicki's lawyer, wrote in the lawsuit, further evidencing an fundamental lack of decency. Green has also posted vile comments about Nicki Minaj's 1-year-old son. This is what the complaint further read. While these comments are not actionable, they nonetheless demonstrate why punitive damages should be awarded in this case. Judd insisted his client never used cocaine. The lawyer claimed Nosey acted with actual malice because she knows the allegation was false, or at least, quote, knew that there was a high probability that it was false, end quote. Nicki is seeking at least $75,000 in damages. Okay. So basically, Nicki's lawyer issued a request for a default judgment because Nosey Heaux and her lawyer have not responded to the lawsuit. Why didn't you respond to the lawsuit? You just blew it off? Now, is the default judgment going to be granted? That's what I want to know. When the judge gonna rule on this? So if the default judgment is actually granted, then Nicki would have won her lawsuit, right? By default. Okay. Hopefully all hip hop and Ace Showbiz will keep up with this, because I'm curious to see if Nosey Heaux, that name is hilarious to me, and how it's spelled is even funnier because I spell Hoe like that too. Anyway, I want to see if the default judgment is going to be granted. So right now everything is pending. So I know I saw on Twitter people were saying that Nicki won her lawsuit. So I said, wait a minute, but when did they even go to court? Like, how did she win? But of course, I took it upon myself to read and research so that I can understand for myself. So there is no win per se. But why wouldn't you respond? If your lawyer, why wouldn't the lawyer respond to this? Is this like a tactic that the lawyer is using? Maybe he's gonna go before the judge. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get why you wouldn't respond. Maybe you think it's frivolous, but you decided to take on Nosey as your client, right? I'm referencing the lawyer or addressing the lawyer. You decided to take on Nosey as your client, right? You're a lawyer. So when you get lawsuits and paperwork and you have to, why didn't you respond? I'm confused. I don't know. There's some strategy here. I'm going to keep up with this because I want to see if she's going to be granted the default judgment. So if she is, then whatever wages that Nosey makes from however she makes her money outside of YouTube, or if it's just YouTube or whatever else it is that she does, Nicki can then request for her those wages to be garnished when you get a default judgment, or they can go in your bank account. So it all depends on what the judge says and what the judge rules on. Here's the thing. So she's suing her for punitive damages for what she said about her son. I said this before, and I'll probably say this till the day that I die. When you talk about people, I don't care if you dislike the person. I don't care. This just happened the other day with Tommy Lee talking about Chris Brown. Baby ain't do a damn thing. When you talk about people's children, all gloves are off. So whatever it is that comes your way, I don't think Nicki is wrong for pursuing this whatsoever. Leave kids alone. People will want to fight you over things that you say and do to their kids, rightfully so. People will want to sue you over the things that you say and do to and about their children, rightfully so. Leave children alone. If you don't like Nicki Minaj, then you talk about what you don't like about Nicki Minaj. Leave her child alone. Leave the kids alone. I am not a fan of that shit. I don't think it's funny. And if somebody wants to run up in your mouth because you said something about their child or did something about their child, I will stand there and I will sip my water and mind my business. I don't like people talking about kids. I don't like people taking indirect or direct shots at kids. And I damn sure am not down for people harming kids. I don't like it. I never found it funny, even in my younger years. I'm an adult and I still don't like it. Leave kids alone before somebody run up in your shit. Okay? All right. I think I made that very clear. For those of you who are used to listening to my commentary, I have said that many times and I will continue to say that. So we shall see what will become of the request for default judgment. On a more positive